Hi there, my name is Tenzin Bisung, and I'm grateful to be here submitting my nomination to become a Parkdale Neighborhood Land Trust board member. When I moved to this neighborhood a little over 2 years ago, I was so inspired by the grassroots organizing and sense of community that's contained here. I'm currently a PhD student in the Dalhousie School of Public Health at the University of Toronto, and I am passionate about issues related to health equity, housing, and social justice. I've had the pleasure and the opportunity to work with a few Parkdale-based organizations, and I really hope to contribute what I've learned and my experiences as a member of the board. I really look forward to continuing the amazing work that PNLT has accomplished and move forward in the spirit of community accountability and collaboration. And I really feel like, PNLT and what they're doing and the values that this organization has and this community has are really just a great place for inspiring work to occur. So I just want to thank you all and look forward to meeting you.
Hello and Tashidalek to all the Parkdale Neighborhood Land Trust family member, team member, and all the well-wishers. My name is Prince of Champel, and I'm seeking to run for the board for the Parkdale Neighborhood Land Trust. I'm a Canadian Tibetan, currently living in the Parkdale, more specifically South Parkdale at the Tyndall Avenue. I was born in India as a refugee camp, and thanks to the government of India and the blessings of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, that I got a good education over there. After completing my university degree back in India, I founded a first ever Tibetan non-profit organization, HIV/AIDS, which I'm very proud of. Ever since my childhood, I've been very involved in the community-related activities, starting from my school days as the mass committee, then at a college and the university level as the president of the Tibetan Student Association and the Regional Tibetan Youth Congress. Since I moved to Canada in 2013, I was also the president of the Regional Tibetan Youth Congress between 2015 to 2017. Here in Canada, I've been involved in a lot of the different organizations in different capacity as a frontline worker, as a case worker, as an intensive case management worker. Currently, I'm working at the Homes First Society, which is a nonprofit organization, as the pest control and hoarding specialist, plus a property management operations. And I have been working with a lot of people who are marginalized, let's say people who are facing the homelessness issue, people who have mental health issues, and people who are dealing with the problematic substance abuse. So in terms of the Parkdale Neighborhood Land Trust goal in the future, where I can contribute my personal experience in not only in gaining the affordable housing, but more specifically in maintaining and sustaining affordable housing for the low income or the marginalized group of people, making sure they are living in a par with a healthy and safe environment. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Samia, a student at York University, currently enrolled in the honours programme within the stream of educational studies. I am your local resident at Parkdale and a huge member when it comes to issues of advocacy-led work. I'm also part of a committee called BSSC, which stands for Black Student Success Committee, which is a student/parent focus group centering around issues of race and systematic barriers that are currently being faced. However, I'm also incredibly passionate about issues of housing and issues relating to food. COVID-19 has brought to the surface and trying to find the right words to actually express the amount of emotions that I currently have regarding this issue. This isn't a matter of privilege. Housing should be a basic form of human right, so is issues of food. These are things that I'm incredibly passionate about bringing change for, in terms of ensuring that the members that are unrepresented in this group, the voiceless, those who have been forgotten by the system, are brought to the surface, because this is an issue that affects all of us. If you vote for me, I hope to be part of that change and that changing process. This is the time for us to act now, collaboratively, in order to bring forward those changes that we hope to see in the future. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Andrea Holmes, and I've been a resident and a tenant of Toronto for over 10 years. And over that time, I've seen a lot of changes, some good, some bad, a lot of growth, but also wider unaffordability and displacement. And throughout much of this, Parkdale has been one of my favorite neighborhoods, mainly because it's been able to retain a lot of the character that it has as a community, but also kind of gather that community around to make sure that those people who have housing in Parkdale can keep their housing. And that's why I love the organization PNLT and how I've been working with them in the last year, because I see it as an innovative and novel way to ensure that any shifts in the neighborhood have that community input and there is still a place for tenants in the community. And I believe that I have the skills that would be really helpful at this time and kind of this apex in the journey of PNLT. And I worked on the RFP for the scattered housing project this past year. And regardless of whether or not PNLT wins it, I think that there's a role for them to grow with proper communications, marketing, and fundraising, and really get their scope out there, even across the community. And so I've been working with the government for the past 6 to 7 years of my career. I currently work for the City of Toronto, but I worked with all 3 levels. I understand proposals, I understand how government procures, and I've also worked in consulting and public sector with transit authorities and also the City of Toronto as well. But beyond that, I've been working for myself the past 2 years before the city in helping tech companies and other small companies with their marketing and fundraising endeavors. And I think that I could really help PNLT as a board member in that regard. And I think that'll be really, really important, particularly as many things change in the city, after COVID and everything else that's going on. And I want to ensure that PNLT is sustainable and continues to grow. And so I'd love to be a part of the board and help Parkdale retain its sense of character that I love so much. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Jane Ayordakieva, and I have been a Parkdale resident for almost 10 years. During my time in Parkdale, I've been involved in many organizations, either as a volunteer or in an executive capacity. I've been part of the Parkdale Residents Association. I volunteered for Parkdale Project Read. I volunteered for Parkdale Free School, and I am currently on the board of the Parkdale Food Bank. Over the last 5 years, I've also run organizing and fundraising efforts through an Instagram account called Parkdale Life, in addition to working with PNLT on the Parkdale Not Vegan Dale Community Forum. I am honored for a chance to be part of the board at PNLT, and I believe wholeheartedly in its mission of securing affordable housing and community land for the community of Parkdale, as well as its advocacy for populations in our neighborhood whose voices are often not heard. I would bring to the board both my professional expertise, which is in communications, RFP writing, government relations, and social media, as well as my experience in organizing. I want to work with PNLT to help achieve goals of acquiring more community land, as well as supporting the Parkdale community in organizing to receive more government funding for initiatives that will support our community. I believe I can contribute to furthering PNLT's goals by helping bring greater awareness to issues faced by our neighbors and build solidarity with those not yet inspired by our mission. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gemile. I moved to Toronto and the neighborhood about 3 years ago, and I've been volunteering at West Neighborhood House since I moved here, and more recently Greenest City. And I've really come to enjoy the community, and I like being part of the community. Despite being such a recent transplant, I've become a witness to the rapid gentrification that's happening, not only in this neighborhood, but all over the city, as well as the crisis in affordability that's happening. So by joining the board, I hope to play a part in ensuring that the neighborhood is developing in a sustainable and more equitable way. I'm an academic. I'm pretty good with numbers. I hope that I can bring that skill set to the table. I I hope that you vote for me. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Richard Marshall, and I've been nominated to serve on the board of Parkdale Neighborhood Land Trust. I've lived in Parkdale for over 20 years with my partner and our 3 children. We're part of a community that once was the Toronto Catholic Worker. We operated 2 houses of hospitality and a number of economic development projects, including an urban sawmill that we ran as a worker cooperative. We also joined with a farm outside the city to form a rural land trust. And when that wound down, we were able to donate the proceeds to PNLT to support the purchase of 26 Maynard. More recently, our tenant association has been engaged with Parkdale People's Economy and our city councillor to press our landlord to commit to preserving the houses as affordable as part of a larger community benefits agreement. My own background is in the field of affordable and social housing, where I've served in many roles. I was treasurer on the board of directors of Phoenix Place Apartments here in Parkdale. Also, I was the housing manager at a second stage housing project in Mount Dennis. Currently, I'm a housing consultant at the City of Toronto, where much of my work has been supporting new affordable housing projects, transitioning from the development stage to operations. Last year, I took a leave to pursue a master's in planning at York University, and my area of research is the loss of low end of market rental housing in Toronto. I greatly value Parkdale as a diverse and inclusive neighborhood and want to see that diversity reflected in PNLT's governance. I'm not a member of an equity-seeking group, but I offer my skills and experience and my commitment to serve as a board member of PNLT in the effort to build community control, to preserve affordability, and fight displacement here in Parkdale. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ana Teresa Portillo. 2 years ago, I answered a deep calling in myself to become more involved in my community, and I joined the Parkdale Neighborhood Land Trust Board. During those 2 years, I was able to sit on the Equity Committee, and I'm currently the chair of the Parkdale Neighborhood Land Trust Board. I have been honored to grow up and work my entire life in Parkdale. My family was a part of the John Bruce Village Cooperative, and my mother opened up a small family business that I worked and learned in for many years. During that time, I also pursued my PhD in social and political thought at York University, which I'm currently a candidate. My research is looking at communities facing gentrification and working class and racialized confrontations of displacement pressures. During the time I was a part of the Parkdale Neighborhood Land Trust Board, I learned a great deal about small building preservation and acquisition. I also learned a great deal about small building tenant organizing. I would like to continue to be a part of the board. I'm eager to work with everyone as we begin our new strategic plan, as well as look to the future of what community-owned land, the meaning and the significance that it could be for here in Parkdale, but also across the entire city. I look forward to working with you all and to meeting new members. We are also facing a pandemic, COVID-19, and this is a time for us to take care of one another. Remember that we're all in this together and that we have the ability to imagine a new world, not just a recovery and rebuild, but a true transformation where we can all be together and we can all connect to the land and to our place in this world. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Anita Prasad, and I've lived and worked in Parkdale for 5 years now and been a member of the Parkdale Neighborhood Land Trust since its inception. Really inspired by the work done by PNLT and community members around affordable housing and community ownership of land. And I really want to be part of supporting this work. I've worked in social justice for more than a decade, and over the last 5 years, my focus has been working with folks who are impacted by homelessness and poverty, both in the west end of the city, but also across Toronto. I currently work at the Parkdale Activity Recreation Center on the front lines as a community support worker in the drop-in, but also on a systems level, looking at health and nutrition for folks impacted by homelessness and poverty through healthy food interventions in Toronto's drop-in sector. So what do I think I can offer the board? Many years of frontline experience working with people impacted by poverty. A big component of this job is crisis intervention and support work using a trauma-informed lens. I have a strong equity lens and anti-oppressive practice. I have previous board experience. And I have a strong ability to hold spaces for difficult conversations, conflict, and tension. As someone with many years of experience in group relations and psychodynamics work, I would bring grounding and cohesion to the board as it contends with all of the challenges and complexities involved in doing this work. And I would take up my nomination as a board member with commitment and responsibility and integrity. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Aisha. I am running to be a member of the board. I've lived in Parkdale for my entire life, almost my entire life. I'm very interested in issues of social and environmental justice, and I'm excited to be running for the board. I will talk a little bit about myself. So mostly I'm interested in issues of access to resources and food security, but also in immigrant and refugee issues, as well as youth empowerment. I want to be a member of the board because I really believe in what the Land Trust is doing and their values and the way that they're involving the entire community in this diverse place that we call home. And through my experiences, I have found that community-led and grassroots work is the most important for change and the most transformative. And I would like to be more involved in the decision-making processes of the board to understand more from my position as a young community member. I'll just add a little bit more about myself. I attended school in Montreal. As I said, I grew up in Parkdale. I've been involved with a lot of local initiatives, and I also recently spent 2 years working in Mumbai, India at a low-income public school. And I was able to be exposed to a lot of different issues and helped with on-the-ground COVID relief. I was also able to see a lot of parallels between issues that exist here and that exist there, so it gave me a more global exposure. And yeah, I'm really excited to meet everyone and learn more from the people who are on the board and to get more involved. Thank you.
Hey there, my name's Alexis. I've lived in Parkdale on and off for about 10 years now. This community has some amazing resources for someone like myself, and I've been an active member volunteering at Greenest City, the health center and park. And they're all about supporting this community, which is something I feel very strongly about myself. I currently live in a rooming house, and for over a year now, we've been unsure of what would happen to our living situation. So I connected to Parkdale Legal and Parkdale Organize, and I got my neighbors involved as well. So we didn't know what was going to happen, and we're expecting to be rent evicted. We're still kind of facing that, and the unsurety, the anxiety that's all with it. It's really pushed me to become a member of the Land Trust, and it's something I really feel strongly about, and I'd love to be on the board because I have a lot of ideas as well involving like urban gardening. And I just want to promote like stable housing and mental health, addiction support for everyone. It's a great community. I love being part of it, and I really would like to have my voice heard. So thank you so much for your time. I hope that you'll consider me, and have a great day. Thank you. It's Alexis.
Hi, my name is Sarah Van Wagner, and I'm running for a second term on the PNLT board. I have been on the board for 2 years and really enjoyed contributing to the transformative work that PNLT is doing. In my other life, I am a law professor teaching planning, environmental, and property law. And the way that PNLT is transforming property relationships and planning law and the way that we make decisions and create relationships around land and place is incredible work. And I love contributing to it and supporting it. I have worked on governance issues and hiring and a range of other issues while on the board. And I look forward to doing that and putting my skills to work in whatever way makes the most sense for PNLT in the next 2 years. I am particularly interested in supporting and deepening the research work of PNLT through thinking about meaningful academic partnerships and where we can find those and who those are with and what those mean. I think there's a lot we can do there, but we want to be careful to be sure that the partnerships that we're with are really about community-driven research and change. I also hope to contribute to thinking through what it would mean to deepen and strengthen our relations with the Indigenous people of this territory and thinking about their ownership and relations to this land for PNLT. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity to do this work. I have admired for a long time the work that PNLT has done, and it's a real privilege to be part of it. And thank you very much for considering my candidacy for another term.
Hello, everybody. My name is Elena Urenia. I am Russian. I was born and raised in Russia. I was educated in library science in Moscow and also graduated Seneca College in Toronto with a library technician diploma. Next summer will be 25 years as I and my husband live and rent in Parkdale in the same apartment for 25 years. My daughter was born and raised in this neighborhood. When my daughter was a little girl, I was involved as a volunteer in many children's activities around Parkdale. I also was on the board of creating together Children's Center on the corner of Queen and Dialogue. Besides, I have an experience in fundraising through participation in art and garage sales, with all the proceedings going to my church. I live in Parkdale long enough to know and understand local issues, such as skyrocketing rent, evictions of apartment dwellers, as well businesses, when, as we know, when apartment goes to Airbnb clients. I would love to participate in an organization that really cares about the neighborhood. That's why I am applying to the board of PNLT. Thank you.